on the call, everybody tells me I need a new computer because my sound is horrible. So I was supposed to get one when I went Emerald, then I was supposed to get one when I went Sapphire. Everybody in my family has a Mac and a new iPhone except me. I'm one of the business. So.
And then you have kids who are getting married, and everything that you planned for yourself goes out the window, right?
Right.
Being Doug right now, yeah. I just told my husband that's got to wait.
All right. Well, we'll go ahead and get started. Happy night. This is our Monday night team call, and we have our lovely Sapphire upline, Brandy Walker, with us, who has so many words of wisdom and lots of experience. And she has built an amazing team, which we are part of and are so proud of. And Brandy's just going to share from her heart, and we're so happy to have you.
Yay, thank you, Kelly. I'm excited to be here, you guys, and I apologize. This is real life. This is pretty much where I work, out on my porch all the time. I love it out here. My husband's like, don't you want to sit in the air conditioning? And I'm like, no, I want to sit outside with the bugs. I don't know. It's just what I love to do. We're out in Florida right now prepping for a hurricane. So I don't know if you guys saw that on the news. It's kind of coming almost right at us. So just say a prayer that that things go well the next 2 days. But this is kind of a nice distraction from it. I just wanted to I know a lot of you guys have probably heard my story over and over. Sometimes I feel like a broken record with my story, but I'm going to tell just a few little details that maybe you didn't know before. When I started Plexus, I started 3 years ago in July of 2015, or that's when I started sharing the products. I had started about 4 months before just taking the products. And of course, you know, once the products started working for me, I won't really go into my whole my health testimony because I think most of you guys probably know that already. I just had a lot of stomach issues, a lot of fatigue, a lot of body aches and pains, fibromyalgia type symptoms. The products did amazing things for me in just a short couple of months, and I started telling my friends about it. So of course, you know, right away the business just kind of took off like way quicker than I ever expected. And I had been doing Plexus for about 3 months. And I was close to gold. And I don't know if anybody has ever had this happen to you, but on one of my posts that I put out there, this person that was supposed to be one of my best friends, she was my husband's boss's wife when we were stationed in Italy. So he was a very high-ranking person. That's his wife. She made this really ugly post about me and Plexus, and we have probably 45 mutual friends. And then she deleted me off of Facebook. So you guys, I was pretty much devastated. Like here I was trucking along, Plexus is going great. And all of a sudden, you know, that just kind of was like a slap in the face to me because it was kind of like public humiliation. You know, pretty much everybody you know saw this post. And I was just like, are you kidding me? Like, I'm just one of those people. I've been very fortunate in my life. I don't have a lot of people being mean to me or anything like that. And I really just did not know what to do. I kind of just like pulled back and I just kind of sat there like, what do I do now? Like, I don't even know what to do. I talked to my husband about it, and you know, he was like, look, you know, your business is going good. Think about all the people you're helping. And, you know, he was right. Right after that, my business just seemed to like pick up and just go, because I think a lot of those people just knew that she was just not really a very nice person. But y'all, that really hurt me. I just couldn't believe that somebody that, you know, acted like she was really my friend could do something like that. But y'all, there are people out there. And if you have somebody in your life that's done that to you, or, some kind of other similar situation, I just want you to know that says so much more about them than won't ever say about you. So I know we come across this a lot, and, you know, just, you have to think about what your goals are and how many more people you're helping than hurting with your post, if that's, you know, kind of a fear that you have. So right after that happened, I picked back up, you know, I had a pity party for a couple of days, and I started again, and I just kept going. And then we got a call one morning in September. It was September 1st of 2015 that my sister-in-law had committed suicide. Y'all, that knocked the wind out of me. It was right before I went gold. And I just, like, my business just, the halted because obviously it's not something you want to post all over Facebook about Plexus when you just had some kind of tragedy like this happen, or that's how I felt anyway. So that was another hurdle that we kind of had to get through. And I just, I eventually did start back because Plexus was more to me than just a business at that point. I had built all these friendships, and I felt really a responsibility, to my team and to all the people that I was helping at that point. Then I was also a cheer mom back then. A lot of you on this team I know are probably cheer moms. I know Lisa is, and several other you guys. So we were super, super busy. I know a lot of you guys are super busy all the time. So a lot of your teachers, a lot of you worked full time. That's not something that I did, but we did have a very, very busy home life during this time. And all this happened, you guys, before I went and gold. We're talking 4 months. All this stuff happened. My son graduated from high school, one of my sons, and moved. He went to college, so he moved out. Another son joined the military and moved out. So we had literally just moved from overseas to Virginia, where I didn't know a soul. When I started Plexus, I knew absolutely no one in that whole state, in this whole couple of states. Sorry, it's getting warm out here. So that was just kind of a challenge I had. I didn't have a community where I could just go out and talk to people that I knew about Plexus. Sometimes I think that works in your favor when you don't know a whole bunch of people, but because you do have a whole world of people out there. But at the time, I was very much an introvert, and I just didn't really talk to people. So I kind of built my business through Facebook, pretty much. Then, you guys, all that happened. I was building my business, and then we had a major back office change. Whoa. That one really kind of, it threw me for a loop because everything, again, was going well. And then we had this back office change. And I know we had another one since a lot of you guys were on, but this one was no joke. But again, I felt a huge responsibility to my team and to my customers and all the people that I brought into the business. So, y'all, I worked so hard during all those times. And I know, many of you do the same thing. You guys have worked through a back office change. You worked through new products, through, a new slim, so many different changes that we've had. And I'm super, super proud of you guys because y'all, sometimes this business is, it can be trying. It's, I talked about this a lot when my first year was the Plexus roller coaster. I know a lot of you have heard me talk about this many times about this is just something that we've got to avoid. And I think especially during times whenever it's slow, or maybe you have somebody quit, maybe you have 2 or 3 people quit all in the same week, and you're just like, oh my gosh, I can't do this anymore. You guys, I've had people quit. I had one of my biggest business builders quit about a year into my business. She was one of my biggest people. She had been on trips with me. She went to my first convention. She went, to Leaders Retreat, and then she just quit. You guys, I could have let that just, tear me apart and make me want to quit too. But I knew that that I had personal goals. I knew a lot of my team members had goals. And so I just had this responsibility that I don't take lightly. And I hope none of you do too, that, I'm here for the long haul. No matter what, I'm not going to base how I run my business on what other people do. So if I have people that are running with me, that's fantastic. I'm going to run with them. But if I have somebody that quits, even a business builder, you guys, go find somebody else. There are so many hundreds of people in this world. And I just can't stress that enough. This Plexus roller coaster where we're just constantly up and down, we've got to get off that. You've got to make a decision. Either you're in it or you're not. Either you're in it for the long haul or you're not. If you get tired, you guys learn to take a break. Put your phone down for an entire day. That's okay. That's why we do this, so that we can have freedom to do that. Don't put your phone down for a whole week. You guys, take a break for a day, or even a day or two if you have to. If you must, take a week and just kind of step back, but then just jump back in. Because I guarantee you, your team's watching you, your customers, your ambassadors, your, people on social media, they're all watching to see what you're going to do. They're watching to see if this is just something like other things that we've all tried, they're fads. I know you hear, leaders talk about that all the time. Consistency is so, so key. People watch you to see if you're taking your own products. They know, you guys, they know if you're like, eating fast food all the time, if you're taking that stuff into work, they watch to see if you're actually doing if you're practicing what you preach all the time. Sorry, I made some notes here. Okay, what are some things that we can do whenever things are slow? So this month, we had a huge push for a contest for the last several months, and now it's kind of slow this month. Okay, that doesn't mean we quit, you guys. That means that we take this opportunity, take this opportunity to do some things for your business. First of all, get organized. This is what I do every time we have a slow month. I take some time to plan my month. I take some time to print out all my customers, all my ambassadors, and I put those into my calendar so that I know who I'm going to follow up with each day. That's kind of a blessing. So it's kind of a time that you can kind of step back and, you work so hard, but now let's get all those people that you brought into the business and customers and follow up with them. Y'all, that is crucial, especially if you were pushing for something like Leaders Retreat and, you brought all those people in, but if you're not following up with them every week, at least for the first month, you're going to lose them. And it's so simple, you guys. It only takes a few minutes. The other night, I followed up with over 30 people in just a matter of like 15 minutes. It does not take that long. Now, yes, if they message you back, then you do have to answer questions, but it really doesn't take that long if you're organized, and that's what you can take this time in the month to get organized. You can plan trainings. You can, even plan your post out for the whole week. If you don't have a ton of messages coming in, or if you're, to get organized, to do those things. Another thing that you can do is send out thank you notes to your customers and ambassadors. You guys, this kind of stuff goes a long way because we talk all the time. This is about a personal connection. Just a simple thank you. Thank you for trusting me with your health. Thank you for trusting me, with these products and this business. If you've got people that are even just thinking about the business, send them a little thank you note. It goes really a long way. I bought some, I think it was called Lip Sense, the lipstick I bought from someone a while back. And not too long after that, I just got a simple thank you note in the mail. I can guarantee you next time I need lipstick, I'm going to buy it from her just because she sent me a thank you note. I thought that was really a nice touch. Okay, another thing you can do or another thing that I've always done since I started is every time I get paid, I try to put a percentage back. It's usually between 8 and 10%. Sometimes it's 15%, you guys. I put a lot of money back into my business. I am not saying that I want you to go broke or, spend more than you can afford. Definitely don't want you to do that. But it's very important to be putting money back into your business, if that be with prizes, incentives, samples, those kinds of things. I always, I run a lot of contests, and I try to do really good prizes. I have a team that is motivated by prizes, so you really need to, find what your team is motivated by. But putting that money back every month, it will pay off. I truly believe that. Even when I first started, you guys, I couldn't afford very much when I first started. So I would just give away like a keychain or a Plexus cup or, anything like that. But people will work. You'll find those reds on your team that are super competitive, and they will work for prizes. It doesn't matter what it is. My team seems to love cash a lot too. So, I do give away a lot of cash prizes, but just a simple, I don't have on a Plexus hat tonight, but a Plexus hat, Plexus t-shirt, any kind of swag. People go nuts over that stuff. So make sure that you're given, plenty of opportunities for people to win that stuff. Not just, every couple of months you might give away a t-shirt. In my opinion, that's not enough. I feel like you really should be putting about 10% back into your business every month. And that has truly paid off for me. Those months that I don't do that, I can tell a difference. Why do you think Plexus puts out these big contests? It's because people work hard for that. They love to be recognized. They love a challenge. you know, a lot of people do, they just love a challenge, and it gives them something to work towards just besides just the everyday. Now, for us personally, I'm one of those people that I'm going to work no matter what's dangled in front of me. That's just being consistent every morning since I've joined Plexus pretty much. I've gotten up and I have like a little routine. A lot of times, and I'm not suggesting that you do that or even that it's good to do this, but I just have a little routine before I even get out of bed in the morning. And that's posting on my team page. And back in the day when we posted like 3 times a day, I always, you know, would schedule some posts for my personal posts. But now I'll just a lot of times go ahead and write out some posts or jot down some ideas. This is before I even get out of bed. And you guys don't have to do that, but if you're working, sometimes that might be a good, you know, a good time to do that. Just to knock it out in the morning so that you know that you're being consistent. Another thing that I do is even on my cell phone, I'll set alarms during the day for certain things so that I'm not stuck to my phone all day long. But I will set an alarm for, say, I've got something I need to do on the gut health page every day at 12 o'clock. I put that on my alarm so I don't forget to. So you just have to come up with some sort of plan to make yourself consistent. If you can't remember to post every day, set an alarm on your phone. It's going to remind you to post. Even if you have that post saved maybe in the notes on your phone or something, then you can just go and post it. That part is, it's pretty simple, but you just have to get in the habit of doing that. I just can't stress enough that being consistent is what people watch for, you guys. Maybe it's a slow month, and we are going to, like I said, we are going to have those. Usually we have a month where we're super busy, and maybe there's a slower month, and maybe it's one that's super busy. But when you're planting seeds and sending out messages and talking to people, maybe it's not the right time for them, but once you planted that seed, when it is the right time for them, they're going to reach out to you. So you've got to make sure that you're at least reaching, at least planting that seed so they know who to come back to whenever the time is right for them. Okay, I want to talk to those people who have won the cruise. Okay, because I know that some of you guys have won the cruise. And if you've won it, I'm so proud of you. I'm super excited that it's going to be such an awesome time. However, all those people, and I just talked about this a minute ago, that you brought on board, if you do not follow up with them, you're going to lose them. Okay? It's simple as that. We cannot just win a big prize like that and then just forget about all those people that trusted us with their health and with the business. We've got to make sure we're following up. And I meant to print it out before I jumped on this call, but someone created a new ambassador checklist. And I don't know if you guys saw that. I posted it on my team page. It is awesome. And then my husband made it into an Excel sheet that you can actually go in and you can type in the names in there. So if you're not using that, I highly, highly recommend that you get that, put it on your phone or put it somewhere that you can follow up with people. You guys get a system that works for you. That is so important. But you can't just, like I said, you can't just win a prize like this and then quit. All those people are just going to fall off. So that's super important. Something that I, have said since I started was, if I had to work this business for 4 or 5 years to make it to diamond, then I absolutely would. You guys, I'm on year 3 and I've made it to Sapphire, and I'm not going to quit until I make it to diamond. I'm not going to quit then either, but I just, my husband, I use him as an example. He's been an amazing provider for our family. He's been active duty Air Force for almost 28 years now. 28 years it's taken him to get to the rank he is. He's a lieutenant colonel now. And my paychecks are now higher than his are. And it only took me 3 years. So even when I was, like Kelli, Senior Ruby, I mean, God, that is an amazing paycheck. I mean, really, to work. Kelli, how long have you been a teacher? Sorry.
16 years.
16 years she's been a teacher, right? And I mean, you're making this an amazing paycheck. And how long have you been doing flexes?
Not quite 2 years. Yeah, in November it'll be 2 years.
I mean, that's amazing, you guys. So I just don't want you to lose sight. If you have a slow month or you have somebody quit or you get frustrated, just think about where you could be in such a short amount of time compared to working literally a lifetime for probably just about the same and so much more work. I mean, really, it really is so worth it if you can just get it in your head that no matter what anybody else does, you're going to work, you're going to do what you're supposed to do every day, and you're going to lead by example with your team. Because I promise you, you guys, they're watching every single thing you do. They're watching your page, they're watching really everything you do, I promise you. I know, I want you to sit back and think about the people that you watch. You probably have a couple of people that you follow all the time, and you literally watch everything they do, and your team is doing the same. Even if you don't have a large team, your customers and maybe the few ambassadors that you've signed, they are watching you as well. So, okay, I want to talk about those people that did not earn Leaders Retreat. Okay, so what? You didn't earn Leaders Retreat, it's okay. That does not mean that you are not going to succeed in this business. I can guarantee you that, because guess what? My first year, they were having Leaders Retreat in Washington, D.C., and I lived in Northern Virginia, so it was like 30 minutes away. My husband worked at the Pentagon, for crying out loud. And guess what? Everybody that I joined with, all these people that were joining at the same time, they all won Leaders Retreat, and they all came to my town where I lived, and I had to watch them all go to Leaders Retreat, have a great time, and here I was 30 minutes away and couldn't even go. Now, some people that might have made them just be devastated and, just think this business just isn't for me. If I can't even do it, all these people can. They're flying in from all over the place, and they made it. Why couldn't I? Did it sting? Yeah, it stung. But I made up my mind that I was not going to have a bad mindset. I was, I knew in my heart, I knew I could do this. And so what I did was I just didn't really watch Facebook. I mean, still did my posting and things, but I just put my blinders on. I did not watch all my friends and all their posts until after they left. And I went back and kind of scrolled through and saw what a good time they were having. But what I decided to do was, and I don't know if you guys saw the quote that I put on Facebook today. It says, jealousy will have you gossiping about people you should be learning from. And that, I don't know, Kelli, I may have even got it from you. I don't know. I got it from somebody. But I just thought it was gold. You guys, that is so true. Sometimes I think we find ourselves when we see people succeeding, we're like, well, dang it, why does she do? Why is she winning that prize? Or why, why is she getting to go to Leaders Retreat and I'm not? And I could have totally that could have just sucked the life out of me, and I could have been like, you know what, I'm done with that. I remember trying to text Julia, and she didn't text me back for like 2 days. But then I found out that all the diamonds had meetings, and she was doing a whole bunch of stuff, and I just decided at that point, instead of letting all those people and let it just eat away at me, I made a list. I started going through people's posts that went. I made a list, and I started messaging them. And I said, okay, what did you do to get to Leaders Retreat? Help me, teach me. Let me get on your team page. What can I started following them, everything they did. And you guys, that helped me more than you can ever imagine. Y'all know I have the most amazing upline, Joy Carty. She is amazing. But she had like hundreds of level ones, and so I wanted somebody that was at the same rank that I was, or, had been in about the same amount of time. So I latched onto those people, Brooke Smith and Melissa Amos, and at the time, Rita Anderson, several people that really we just linked arms. We added each other to each other's team pages, and we just went for it, you guys. And that's what I want you guys to do. Don't let these people that have won Leaders Retreat, don't let that discourage you. Let that encourage you to know that it can be done and that you're going to be there next year. I want you to message these people, even if they aren't necessarily on your team right here. There's a lot of people. Find those people and talk to them and find out what they did. And y'all link arms, do contests together, and, you know, ask if you can get on each other's team pages if you aren't already, because that was one of the biggest encouragers to me, is to link arms and get a running buddy or a couple of running buddies, because, you know, I just feel like the more, really the more team pages you can be on, I think it can be very, very encouraging, as long as you let it be encouraging. As long as, you know, all of a sudden their team doesn't take off and you let that discourage you guys. You got to keep your eyes forward and keep your eyes on your goals, not anybody else's. It's all about God's timing. And y'all, I believe that with every fiber in me, that this business is all about God's timing. I'm super, I don't know if you've noticed, but when somebody ranks up, I'm going to be the first one to congratulate them. I think it's amazing. I think it's so exciting when, you know, somebody that we know, our friend gets promoted, or they win a prize, or I'm super excited about that, but I also latch onto them and I want to know what they're doing. And I find out, I message them, I get them on the phone, I get them on a Zoom call, and, you know, and I just collaborate with them and find out what they're doing. So that's kind of what I've done to get to this point. I didn't do it on my own. I've got an amazing team, a bunch of great leaders. But I would definitely encourage you to find people and get running buddies. You guys message each other every single day if you have to. That's what I did forever, and I still do it. I mean, I still have people that we don't gain anything from each other, but we message each other all the time. If you can't find that person, you'll message me. I mean, that's what I'm here for. I'll be glad to, you know, tell you everything that I can possibly think of that I do. I'll be happy to do that. Okay, let's see. I'm going to pull over things. Okay, the last thing I want you to do is either get out your, you know, the notes in your phone or a piece of paper real quick. And I want you to just write down your 2 biggest fears, whether, you know, biggest fears in this business. I'll give you just a second to do that. Okay. Does anybody want to volunteer and tell me what at least one of your fears is? Because I know we all have them. I'll tell you a couple of mine real fast before you tell me yours. My first one was doing this right here, doing a Zoom call. You guys, that just about paralyzed me. The first time I had to do a call, I cried, I think, almost all day. That's kind of embarrassing to say, but as an introvert, that was super, super hard for me. But just with anything, the more you do it, the easier it gets. Does anybody have one that you want to share?
I put keeping up with everything. Like, I think about your team and how huge it is and how deep and how many people, and just like, I have good management skills, but at that volume,
Right.
That sounds daunting.
Right. I will tell you,
working full time.
That was one of my fears as well, was, you know, not being able to live up to, you know, expectations. And that really, as I've watched a lot of videos and things, that there's actually a name for that. It's just called fear of success. Like, you want the success, but you're scared of, you know, what you have to do to get to that level. And really, you guys, it's not a whole lot different than what you're doing now. It's really not. I mean, at each level, you get a little bit more training. You just kind of build on. It's almost like going, you know, from kindergarten to a senior in high school. Every year, you just learn a little bit more, and you just add to that. So I don't want you to be terrified of that. It's something that you just learn as you go. And when you get to be a jewel, they send you to all kinds of training. There's so many more pages you get added to, and it's not to overwhelm you, but there's just so much more information out there that, you know, that can help me as a leader to be able to manage this better. So it's not like I'm just thrown into it by myself, because I was kind of scared of that, and it's not. Kelli, you have one?
I have a few, but if anybody else wants to go, I'm sure that they're the same. Like one of my biggest fears is like my business dying, not ranking up and not, growing. And that's probably my biggest fear is, just the gears locking up and.
Right. Well, one thing I want to encourage y'all about right now is we've got new products coming out. That's always picks our business up. I mean, we just had huge months for October 8th. So don't panic too much. It's only been 8 days in a month. It's a little bit slower, but we've got new products coming out, and that always picks things up. So, I mean, that's a legitimate fear, Kelly. I mean, I think you can probably ask any Jewel out there. We all have that same fear. But, in any job, you could get fired tomorrow. I mean, you could lose everything. So it's kind of, be that rock star that you want your team to be. I say that all the time. I still try to add 3 ambassadors every single month because it's kind of it's a funnel, and we're always need to be adding more people than we're losing because we're going to lose people every month. That's just the way it is. So I think we need to always encourage our teams to at least add 3 people every month. Always keep having people come in. Anybody else?
Brandy, I have a fear of live videos.
Yes. Okay.
I hate them. I'm working on it. But
yes, I just actually did a video, and I think I saved it. I did it for another challenge, but I could probably send it to you. I just did on live videos, and that was another thing I cried about. Y'all, I'm not a crier. Really, when I even hear myself say it, I'm like, did I really cry over a live video? I did. Yeah. But it's just, Bob Helig, or Heilig, I can never pronounce his name right. I actually got to meet him in person in Maui. It was pretty cool. He says that your biggest fears, like those things that you're so terrified to do, that if you can master them, it would shoot your business to the next level. Y'all, he's so right. Those things that you're scared to do, like if you're live videos, because it sounds like maybe you've got the messaging down, you've got the posting down, you're not scared to do those things. But live videos, because if people can really hear your heart and hear where you're coming from, you'll probably get a whole bunch, like this whole new slew of customers and ambassadors. Also, with your team, another thing he said about live videos is, all these people that are being, and just like Teresa, whenever you said, I've got this large team, I've got all these people on my team, I have to work extra hard at these people knowing that I'm just a real normal person. That sounds crazy to me even saying that, but, I look at like Julia's team or like some of the other bigger teams, the bigger diamonds, and I'm thinking, yeah, if they didn't do live videos ever, I would not feel like I really knew them, and maybe I don't really know them. But if they do videos and work really hard at me getting to know their heart and what they're about, and know about their families and different things, it really it makes me feel connected to them, just like your Facebook audience or your team will feel more connected to you if you do those videos. Even if you have to practice, doing. I think Tina Conrad, she made up a Facebook group that really just has a couple of people in it, and she practices live videos on that. And I don't know if you're on there, but I thought that was a genius idea because it can be a little bit distracting when you got all those, people commenting, hearts and things. But the more you do it, the easier it gets. And you don't have to start out doing them where you're just sitting here talking to the camera. You can start out like if you're traveling or if you're at school and you've got kids or whatever it is that you do, start out doing videos like that where you're not necessarily just talking the whole time to the camera. I think those can be a little bit easier and just kind of help you get the hang of it. But if that's one thing that you're scared to do, I guarantee if you start doing it more often, you're going to draw in more people. And those people are going to really feel that personal connection with you, which is the whole point of these videos, is it so that people will really feel like they know you. Because I run into people all the time because we've only lived here since December, but we lived here like 10 years ago for 5 years. So I do run into people that we know, and they know so much about my life already, but it's because I share, and they just, it's like when I run into them, it's like just seeing somebody I just saw yesterday because they feel a connection. So those live videos are important. I know it's scary, but I know you can do it. If I can do it, trust me, if I can do it, anybody can do it. It is, I promise you, it's not my favorite thing to do. Even Julia, I think it was yesterday or day before, she did a live video on her personal page about the baby that they're adopting. And she even posted it in our thread. She's like, hey guys, I'm getting ready to do a live video. I don't know why I get so nervous. Julia Carty, like, she actually gets nervous, you know, but she did it, and she did an awesome job. Because it is different doing those videos on your team page and then doing it, you know, on your personal page. It really had nothing to do with Alexis. It was about her baby, and she was still a little bit nervous. So just know that other people get nervous too. Like, we're not immune to that, but the difference is just making yourself do it. Set up a time and just, you know, go with it. It doesn't have to be long, just to make those personal connections. Anybody else? Nope. Okay. Y'all don't have to share. I get it. I have so many fears, you guys. When I first started, my first fear was my first post. Like, I really thought I was going to have a panic attack just doing my first post. But I did it. You know, my husband and I, we talked about this, and we knew that this business was going somewhere. And so I just put those fears aside, and I just did it. Y'all, with so many things, it's just the little insecurities that hold us back, when those are the things that we, you know, the things that we're scared to do, are like, especially messaging people. You guys, it's really not that hard. One thing that Ellen Ford shared with me when I first started, because I was scared of doing, you know, cold messaging somebody. And she said, look, she said, all the things in the world. She asked me why I was so scared. I was like, I don't want anybody to ignore me. And she's like, girl, if they don't ignore you, at least they didn't tell you no. Like, just do it. And she said, message them right before you go to bed, and then put your phone down. Don't even look. And I was like, okay. So I actually did that, you guys. And I got so many business builders by doing that. I would just message them and tell them, you know, how amazing they were, why I wanted them on my team. And then I put the phone down and go to bed. And that was my biggest fear. But I would wake up sometimes to these messages. Like, I would just be shocked that people were like, oh, really? You think I can do that? I'm like, yeah. So it does work. Those, sometimes this business can be fearful. I mean, it brings out just those little insecurities that you really didn't know. You knew you had them, but I think it amplifies it a little bit sometimes. Write a new goal every week. So get your calendar out, and, you know, just write something that you're going to do different that week. You guys, personal development, watching other people's videos. When in the beginning, when I would do a video for my team page, because back in the day we didn't really have live videos. I would sit and watch other people's videos, take notes, and make my own video. I mean, sometimes I still do that just to get ideas. So that's another way. If you want to make a live video, make yourself some notes, just sticky notes, or just get a little notebook and write notes. Even if it has nothing to do with Plexus for your live video, make notes. Personal development, y'all, I cannot stress that enough. Kelly and I were talking about that before. If you're going through a slow time and you're stuck in your business and you do not know what to do, personal development is it. You guys, if you don't have Rachel Hollis's book, what is it? Oh, I can never remember the name of this book. What is it? Wash Your Face. Girl, wash your face. Why can I not remember that? But it's going to actually have it over my bag. It is an amazing book, you guys. It'll slap you in the face pretty much. It'll make you think that all these things that you procrastinate and put off every single day, because I'm the world's worst procrastinator. I mean, I admit it, I am. That book has been life-changing for me. So I encourage y'all to get her book and follow her if you don't already follow her, because I think most of y'all probably do. And really the last thing I want to say is do the hard things first every day. If, you know, that live video is the scariest thing, knock it out. If messaging people is your hardest thing, don't wake up and answer all your questions, you know, on your team page and do all your posts and do all your videos and then save that messaging for the last thing at night because it won't get done. I promise you. If you will do that first thing, then everything else will just fall into place. But personal development is just huge. I mean, that's something that I have tried to do since the day I started. I still, as a Sapphire, still watch videos every single day. If I'm getting dressed or if I'm washing dishes or whatever. I know that sounds cheesy, but you guys, there's so many people that have so much wisdom and just, you know, you get new ideas. I get new ideas every time I listen to other people. So I just think that part's super important. And I think that's pretty much all I have, Kelly, unless you guys have something to add or have any questions.
That was awesome, Brandy. It's, I think, exactly what we needed. So thank you so much. If you guys have any questions at all, unmute yourself and shoot.
Yeah. About anything. Doesn't matter. It's very rare that we just get this one-on-one time.
So what do you think the new product's going to be?
Well, I can't really say because, you know.
Oh, you know what it is. That's right.
Just trust me when I say you guys are jumping up and down. You're going to be so excited. Seriously. It's a good one. It's good. Really good.
All right. Perfect. Anybody have any questions? You're ready.
I was just going to say one last thing. Y'all get people on a VIP list. Message people right now and say, you know, hey, our company's coming out with, you know, new products. Do you want to get on my VIP list? You know, to be one of the first people to know, because, you know, most people always are going to want to know that. So it just kind of gives you another reason to follow up with people. Even I would go through all your ambassadors, all your customers, and all your prospects and message them and ask if they want to get on your VIP list. So that's all I have.
That's a great idea. The best. Thank you a million so much.
It's so good to see you guys. Have fun on
All
the
right.
All right.
Thanks, Brandy.
Have
Bye,
a good-
guys.
Thanks, Brandy.